Hi all, I'm back again with a very simple DIY which is painted and stenciled canvas bag. This is a very simple project. The materials you need are also what's around your house. You can just look for some canvas bag or a cloth bag in plain, preferably, or a jute bag, anything will do, and grab some paints. Acrylic paints, chalk paints will work fine, and a plastic sheet, any plastic old cover or plastic sheet, and whatever stencils you have, just pick up those. It's a very easy DIY. You can finish it in like half hour. So let's get started. So first take your canvas bag. Just if there are any wrinkles, just run your iron through it because we don't want any wrinkles. So just make it flat and plain and iron it. And before you start painting, put a plastic sheet or a plastic cover inside the bag. This is because when you paint, you don't want the paint to seep to the other side of the fabric or the cloth or the canvas bag. So put a plastic cover or a sheet, anything that you have inside. Make sure it's gone into all the corners and there is no space left. So just put the cover inside and then we are ready to paint. Now choose any 3 colors of your choice or 4 colors of your choice or anything. This is just completely up to you. I am just showing you a simple technique so you can do it according to your creativity and your ideas. So I have chosen 3 colors here: a light beige like a sandal color, green and olive, kind of a darker olive green, and dark brown. So all I'm going to do now is just apply these paints in patches. I have 3 colors, so I will just put 3 different patches all over my canvas bag. Don't dilute the paint because since we're using a canvas bag, if you dilute it will become too watery and it's just going to seep through the pores in the bag. Try and paint it just as is from the bottle, whether it's acrylic paints or canvas or chalk paint. Just use it directly from the bottle. If it's thick, maybe you can just touch like a teeny bit of water, but otherwise don't dilute the paint. So now just go apply randomly. This again is up to your creativity. You can apply the paint in whichever pattern you want, maybe in blocks all over the surface, all over the canvas bag, or in strips, or any which way that you want, you can do it. Please don't mind my kids behind. They were too inquisitive to see what I was doing. Yeah, so you can see their hands and legs in between. So now I'm going ahead with the next color, that's green. Like I said, I'm just putting another strip of the green color. Then I will move on to the next color, which is brown, and apply that as well. What I'm doing here is I'm just trying to blend in both the colors. I don't want distinct line between the first color and the second color. So I just mixed both the beige and the green and just gave another coat in between where the transformation happens. I will do the same thing for the brown and green also. Just mix both the colors and just give it in between so it has a proper gradient and a shading and has a continuation. So I'm just going ahead mixing the colors and making sure it's blended well, and we don't have like a line of three colors, but it's a gradient of smooth flowing colors, and it's blended well. And let the bag dry nicely, and preferably overnight. You just leave it to dry nicely. Now I just have some of these stencils with me, Craft Creek stencils and iCraft stencil. I wanted to just do some simple stenciling. Maybe I will use gold or copper color. So I have this dream catcher kind of a stencil. It says dream big and some feathers. So I'm going to mix and match these two, and it's very simple. I'm just going to stencil wherever I feel like. So whatever stencil you have, just choose those, any color that you want to stencil it on, and stencil wherever you want on the bag. Now I will use maybe a gold color. I have a gold acrylic paint, and I'm using a stencil brush. The key to stenciling is that you have to use a thick paint. You should not water down the paint, and also even if you use a thick direct paint, there should not be too much paint on the brush. So you always dab off the excess from the brush. You just want little bit on the brush, not too much. So dab it off on the lid or on your palette, and you can apply it in this manner, like just dab 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 if you want a lot of product in the stencil. Or you can also just brush over, like roll over the stencil if you want a little fainted look, or a brushed effect, or a light effect. Stenciling is one of the most versatile techniques that you can use in many different ways and in many different projects to actually give a very different look to your project. So learning how to stencil is very important. Okay, before I give you some techniques on stenciling, now here what I'm doing is I just wanted to give like a double shade to the dream catcher. So I'm just taking some brown and going over the top part alone, just to give it that double shade kind of a look with brown and gold. So yeah, so coming back to stenciling, like I said, stenciling is a really nice technique to up your project appearance very easily. So the key to that is, number one, your paint. Paint should not be runny, because if your paint is going to be runny, it will seep under the stencil and it will smudge underneath, and you won't get crisp images. So the paint has to be thick. Number two, the amount of product or the paint on your brush has to be very minimum. If you have more paint on the brush when you stencil, when you dab it on the stencil, it's going to leave too much product when you remove the stencil, and that's not going to give you a crisp image or a neat image. That will not look nice. So it has to be very little paint. Even if you take more, you dab off the excess on a palette or on the on a tissue, and then use just minimum paint. So these two are very important to get crisp, nice images. So now there was this quote, dream big, on the stencil. So I've just used that in between on one of the strips there. So I think I'm just done with the dream catcher. Now I will use my other stencil, which is the feather, and I'm going to give it here and there on the bag just to give it some effect. I'm rubbing the brush over the stencil here because I don't want a very dark effect. I just want like a brushed light fainted effect, so that's why I'm just rubbing it in circular motions over the stencil. Yeah, I just remembered another tip about using stencils is whenever you use stencil, you have to wipe it off immediately to clean it. That's the best way to clean. I usually use baby wipes, so right after I stencil, I wipe it with the baby wipes, and then after I finish, I just soak them in some soapy water. You can use like a lukewarm water also, and that will remove all the paint. So it's really important that you wash off when you clean your stencil right after you finish your work. Why? Because if you're going to leave the stencil to dry off with the paint, every time you use, there's going to be a lot of paint that is going to be retained on the stencil, and you will not get a good nice finish when you're using the stencil the next time. So it's really important that you clean the stencil immediately. So yeah, pretty much that is what I am going to do with this bag. Now I'm just going over, running through the colors. If at all there is any space left, I just brush them with the color, and I'm stenciling the Dream Big quote in few more places around the bag. So that is it, our canvas bag is finished. It's beautiful, simple. You can carry it for your shopping or for vegetables or for anything, and you can use any kind of design that you want. It's up to your creativity. So go ahead and make this beautiful bag, and please do send me the pictures once you make your own. I would love to see them. Happy crafting. Thank you so much for watching the video. Do subscribe to my channel for more such interesting videos. Thank you. Bye bye. Have a nice day.